There has never been a better time than now to come join the Bellisio Foods team. Bellisio has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Bellisio Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit BellisioFoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Bellisio team today. Visit BellisioFoods.com/careers to learn more. Never have our community heroes been more worthy of recognition than today, and Wendy's is here to show thanks for all they do with a free breakfast for a year giveaway. Starting Monday, November 15th through December 9th, we want you to nominate the individuals you feel have gone above and beyond. Just go to yourtotalmedia.com/communityheroes and give us a line or two about why someone you know deserves free Wendy's breakfast for a year as part of Wendy's Thank You Thursdays campaign throughout this holiday season. That's right, our community heroes have the opportunity to win free breakfast for a year from Wendy's, which includes a delicious breakfast combo. We'll select a community hero every week on Thursday, and you'll hear their inspiring stories on the air. You can nominate anyone who's made an impact in our community. Wendy's wants to reward our dedicated and hardworking individuals because these heroes have kept our communities together and running. Make your nomination today at yourtotalmedia.com/communityheroes, and Wendy's will be providing free breakfast for a year to those deserving individuals.
Well, happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And of course, Jennifer here to start off the morning with her good friend, Phil Buffington, with the morning news update, which is, of course, brought to you by our good friend, Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. And if you're looking to buy or sell, give Nia a call, 740-418-4135, and she'll work hard for you. All right, Phil. Well, we're fresh off of our company Christmas party last night.
Yeah.
So fun.
It was a good time.
And, you know, it was really cool because it got to double as also the 75th anniversary of the Stockmeister companies being in business.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. It was fun to see everyone out.
Yeah. So then we got to laughing a little bit because some of my friends that I graduated high school with, we were all there, and we were like, wow, we get less people at a class reunion than we get at the Christmas party. So I want to thank Alan and the whole staff for throwing the party so that we could have a class reunion as well.
Yeah, there you go.
So that worked out. But no, it was very, very nice, and down at Park's Edge. And if you haven't been in that facility, it's pretty cool.
It is. It's a really nice space.
Very good venue. So, but I'm sure you don't want to hear about us partying last night. So you probably want to hear about some local news. And you're we had Ben here yesterday, so we kicked you out, and you agreed to come back on Friday.
Yep.
No offense. We love you too.
That's fine.
But if you get Ben Davis playing in a studio for an hour, you're going to take it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I figured people would want to hear that more than me. So I gave up my time.
I feel bad about that.
I know my limitations.
We love you, though.
Thank you.
All right. So, no, there's lots and lots of stuff in the news. And Pete's still out, so you've been working double time.
Yep.
Trying to keep up with all of the stuff. So what is going on? I know that there was a Wellston Council meeting last night, some other things.
Yeah. The Wellston Council meeting, they had a couple of individuals come in to talk about the mobile home ordinance that Wellston City is trying to pass right now. I talked about that the last time I was on here. In a nutshell, in about 2002, the city passed an ordinance that it involved an agreement with one individual who was there last night. His name's Rodney Winters. He's a former business owner in Wellston. He's always owned numerous properties in the city. He actually worked with the administration at some point, helped to get the income tax set up. I mean, so he's a longstanding citizen of Wellston. That agreement back in 2002 involved Mr. Winters and I think 3 other individuals who were property owners in the city. And that agreement was meant to grandfather in a number of lots that those gentlemen owned. Basically said that build a mobile home on any lot that already had a mobile home on it. And that was the agreement for numerous administrations, the Stabler administration, the Hayburn and the Pelletier administration. And then he said last night that under the current administration, and I mean, Charlie and Anthony both said this during the last meeting last month, that they were going off of the codified ordinances that were on the city's website and were telling people that they were not able to build new mobile homes in the city or place new mobile homes in the city. And that was according to what the law had said on the website. But unbeknownst to them, they now know this. A certain section, that agreement that Mr. Winter was talking about, had actually not been copied to the codified ordinances on the website. So in all this time, people were technically able to do it. And there were just some stipulations. I think that the replacement home had to be no more than 5 years old and had to be the same size as the one that was there prior, things like that. So this new ordinance that Wellston has had first reading on, and they were set to have a second reading on last night, aims to restrict the placement of mobile homes in the city unless it's in a designated mobile home park or unless it is at least 22 by 22 in dimension and has a permanent fixed foundation. So basically no single wide trailers is what this would aim to do if it was passed.
I gotcha.
So after Mr. Winter spoke, and he said at one point he had 54 lots that he owned, that got dwindled down to about 24. And then he said in about 2014, he sold those remaining lots to his daughter and son-in-law, Tammy and Jason Smith. They had since sold some of those. I think they have about 16 lots remaining. And he and Jason were both there last night to basically say, this is our livelihood. He referred to this as his business, that, this rental property business that he has, and it would be taking that away from them should the city decide to go ahead and pass the ordinance as it is now, as it's proposed. Ultimately, though, the city opted to set this aside. I believe they had its second reading technically, but they've decided to send this to committee. Let me see which committee, the Public Service Committee, and they've set a meeting for December 9th at 5 p.m. at the city building that's open to the public. So anyone that would want to go discuss this matter, they're not going to go forward with the legislation as I understand it. They're going to let the committee figure this out, and then they'll either pursue the ordinance as it is, they'll alter it, come up with a completely new one. I'm not sure, but the overall message that Mr. Hudson, the mayor, last night said, he recommended that the city, if they decide to change the ordinance as it is now, as it's proposed, that he would prefer, if mobile homes are allowed to be in the city, that they just be new with that 5-year-old rule just going by the wayside, and that they not be single-wide trailers. So we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, it's going to go to committee discussion next week, and then at the next council meeting in a couple weeks from now, we'll see what comes of this. But the city is more than willing to, work with everyone. Charlie and Anthony pointed out last night that it was their understanding, according to the ordinance as they thought it was written in 2002, that it was the city's wish to, over time, phase out the single-wide trailers. So they just basically want everyone to be in unison with this and everyone be on the same page. So that'll be further discussed next week and in future weeks.
How did this even come to be an issue, as it was kind of like not... nothing's really changed other than the administration. So how did this even come forth?
Well, what really brought it up in the first place back in 2002 was someone had wished to build or place a mobile home on Oak Ridge. And I think that got the conversation started, as to where should we maybe restrict where you can place these, because of course, Oak Ridge, there's some nicer homes up there. And I think that's what got the conversation started to begin with. Now, as far as having the ordinances placed online, that was something that this new administration with Charlie and his administration had decided they wanted to catalog all of the city's codified ordinances and place them online for easy access. And that was something that Grant Plummer had helped them with.
Okay.
And, unfortunately, some of the things just didn't make it through. So there was a little bit of misunderstanding, and you're talking about decades and decades and decades worth
Right.
of legislation that it's kind of hard to keep everything in order. But for the most part, they've gotten everything right to the way it needs to be.
It's funny. You see online occasionally like these crazy laws that someone digs up from in some municipality, you can't have pigs on the street after 7 o'clock on a Friday or something.
Yeah.
And it's just there's so many laws on so many books in different places that I don't know how anybody ever keeps it straight.
Yeah. Yep.
And things fall through the cracks and whatever.
Yeah.
So it would have to be hard to finally visit some of this stuff.
Yeah, and they've had the same situation come up in the past, and just the past few months, even with the livestock situation that they had.
Yeah, out at the
slaughterhouse. With the electric fence situation.
Because everything's clear as mud.
Yeah, well, everybody has to keep in mind too that a lot of these ordinances that were passed, like you said, they were passed back in the late 1800s when Wellston first became corporated. So, it's just trying to keep everything modern, trying to make the majority of the people happy in the city. And a lot of the reason why this got brought up too, not necessarily the properties owned by Mr. Winters or Mr. Smith, but some of the other properties that have mobile homes on them in the city are in the process of being condemned and torn down. So, and another stipulation that Mayor Hudson suggested that council take into consideration with this is that should they allow the placement of mobile homes in the city, he would rather see them be owner occupied rather than rental properties, because then it's easier to take to task the person responsible for the blighted structure, if that situation were to arise.
Gotcha.
Because if it's a renter, then you have to, notify the renter, then you have to notify the owner, who sometimes doesn't even live in the city. And then you have to assess the taxes and hope that someone pays it. More often than not, they don't. And then the city ends up having to foot the bill for that. So, it's just a matter of...
Yeah, that's a long process.
It really is. And there are a number of mobile homes in the city that have become blighted and an eyesore. And the city, as I've talked about in the past, has really come on board with their code enforcement for the first time that I can ever remember, and they have the means to do so. So they're trying to clean everything up, make everything look as nice as it can, and that benefits everyone. So yeah, they'll take this to committee next week.
Okay.
And I assume that Mr. Winters and Smith will probably attend that meeting also to add in their concerns.
Well, I guess the last thing that anybody wants to do is take someone's livelihood away.
Right. And no one wants to take anyone's home away either.
Correct.
It's just a matter of...
but it's like we all want to get on the same page and do it properly, yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense. But I could see where that got kind of... that would get as heated as the electric fence debacle.
Yeah. Everybody was cordial last night, and everyone presented their case, pretty well. But, yeah, the city, I think, did the right thing, took this to committee. That though the legislation is still technically out there, it doesn't mean they have to act on it. It doesn't mean that it's going to get passed the way it is. So I'm sure that they'll listen to all sides of the argument before they make any certain decision.
Okay. Sounds good. Go through the proper channels. That's all we can do.
That's right. I'll go ahead and mention something else about Wellston. This was just announced yesterday afternoon through the Jackson County Municipal Court. For the longest time here recently, there hasn't been Wellston Municipal Court. Mm-hmm. So they have announced that the Wellston Municipal Court Division of the Jackson County Municipal Court will be open Friday, December 17th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that's on the second floor of the city building, which is where they have their council meetings at 203 East Broadway Street in Wellston. And this is assigned for hearings pursuant to notices, as well as anyone who wants to do walk-in business for outstanding warrant issues, operator's license or vehicle registration blocks, overdue fines, failures to appear, and things like that. And they've also made it very clear that there will not be any arrests made that day. So if you want to come in, take care of your warrants, anything like that, you don't have to worry about being arrested on that date.
It's not an ambush.
Right, yeah. They're not setting you up. They're not looking to arrest,
Well, I think that's a thing where people are terrified. Like, they know that they need to come in, but they're terrified to come in because they're afraid that they won't come out.
Yeah. So they did in all caps say there will be no arrests made that day.
Okay.
The judge will be there, the court administrator, clerk, probation officer, drug court representative, social service officer, and bailiff. They'll all be present that day to help you get taken care of. So that again is December 17, that's a Friday, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Wellston City Building on the second floor.
That's a good idea. And, sometimes you just need a little shove to go take care of your stuff. And
it's better to do it that way than the alternative.
Correct.
Yeah, because then you will be arrested.
Because it will be bad.
Yes.
So, use this as a great opportunity to get your stuff taken care of.
And then also in Wellston, they have the American Legion Post 371 right now is taking phone orders for their Christmas food boxes. In the past, they've given upwards of 250, 300 food boxes out. So
they do amazing work up there.
They really do. And they usually include like a turkey and, mashed potatoes and all the fixings like that. So they are taking their phone orders now. The number is 740-384-5673. And those calls are fielded between the hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It says that 250 boxes are being given away this year, and they encourage people to hurry and register before those run out. And no calls will be taken after 4 p.m. So,
who is eligible for that?
I think anyone is eligible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there aren't any restrictions.
That's awesome.
Yep. I got a lot of news from Wellston today. Before I go on with more news, we do have a lot of Christmas events coming up this weekend on Saturday. Tons. In basically every municipality that we cover. So we have Christmas activities set up in MacArthur, Jackson, Wellston, and Oak Hill.
Yep.
And Wellston's will be the Christmas treats on Wellston streets. I'm not sure how many years consecutive this has gone now.
You're the only person ever in the history of this TV show that's ever said that right. And on the first try, like even Charlie Hudson couldn't spit it out the other day. We're all like, "What is it again?"
I'm phonetically gifted.
You go. He's our guy.
So that is an event that lasts basically all day long. I think it really kicks off at 10 a.m. A lot of the businesses in the downtown district will be participating. There will be carolers on the various corners of the downtown district. At some point, there's going to be a tree lighting ceremony at the city building, I believe at 6 o'clock. So there's also going to be the Lions Club annual Christmas parade that starts at 1 o'clock. So that's all that's going on.
I'll be there.
Tons of stuff in Wellston that day. In Jackson, same thing. They will have the parade that kicks off in the evening. There will be a fireworks display. In Oak Hill, they will have a parade also. They will have a tree lighting ceremony at Central Memorial Park after the parade. There will be, I believe, the live reindeer are returning again this year.
They are.
So, lots of Christmas activities all on that first Saturday in December, as has been the custom as of late. So
the good news is they've kind of staggered all these events. So if you want to attend, several different municipalities, you totally can.
Yep.
Because I know, Jackson's events are geared more toward the night, and I know Wellston's more toward the day. Oak Hill's kind of in between. So, you have the opportunity to hit a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep. And we will have someone there to cover each of those, and we'll have, I imagine, some coverage in the next Wednesday's edition from all those Christmas events, including the cookie walk that took place last night for the Jackson Downtown Association, the Christmas cheer from yesteryear at Mayhew Brown Funeral Home that took place last night. They had a Christmas tree lighting in Colton on Wednesday night for Lena's tree lighting, which is in memory of the late Lena Humphreys. So all that will be coming up in future editions of the Telegram also. And some news from Vinton County, our own Red Thompson Jr. has broke a story that was in this Wednesday's edition of the Telegram on the front page, that the Convention and Visitors Bureau in Vinton County has submitted an offer to buy the Hotel MacArthur site, and they've expressed their intention to hopefully first purchase it, then obtain some grants to do a refurbishing project to what they've dubbed a heritage tourism project. So this site was built in 1839, and they have officially made their offer to purchase the property from owner Catherine Madison. And the Vinton County Marketing Director, Caleb Appleman, told Red that he doesn't really want to disclose the offer amount just yet, but he is hopeful that it is accepted. And there's a 2-week deadline for Madison to reply, and they are currently awaiting her response. And they're hoping to apply for some grants through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources that requires them to actually own the property before they can pursue any sort of a project. But the overall hope is to make the hotel into an 1840 to 1860s era look. And they're going to do some major renovations if they can get this done. It would be about a $2.5 million renovation project overall. They would be adding restrooms to all the rooms that are currently in that facility. They would create a third floor with a total of 13 rooms that would be rented out nightly. They would put an elevator, a cleanup and renovation of the restaurant and bar area that are currently inside of there, a rewiring job with adding internet and HVAC upgrades. Mm-hmm. So we'll be keeping an eye out on that to see if that offer goes through, and hopefully they can hit the ground running, get some grant money, and really bring that back up to snuff. It's right there, right in the middle of MacArthur. It's just kind of sat there.
It is. It's like the thing you see when you pull into MacArthur.
Yeah, and as old
from our direction anyway.
Right, and as old as it is, and it's got a really storied history. I mean, there's a story that Johnny Appleseed stayed there when he made his famous trip through the area.
Garth Brooks stayed there.
Yep, Garth Brooks stayed there. So
Katie showed me the Garth Brooks room one time.
Really?
I thought that was really fun. She calls it the Garth Brooks room.
Now, see, it's gotten a bad rap over the years too. Like, there's been a lot of negativity about it. There's been numerous drug busts take place at Hotel MacArthur. So it would be nice to see that turned into.
Is it currently operational, or is it just sitting empty? Or
I'm not really sure. I think that
either.
I think that people can stay there right now, but I can't. I'm not really sure about that. I'm not really sure. But either way, hopefully that gets taken care of.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a fun project, and something that would certainly bring tourism to the area. MacArthur is right on the cusp of the Hocking Hills,
Yeah.
and so I could see people totally staying there, heading up to the caves and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not a long drive from there, and plus
it's so close to Lake Hope.
I don't know if anyone has tried to get a cabin for the Hocking Hills at any point in their life, but you better plan about 2 or 3 years ahead of time.
Correct.
If you want to stay, right around that area. But MacArthur's not that far away. That would be just another option for you to visit that wonderful place up there and bring some tourism dollars back down this way.
Absolutely. Down to our area.
Yeah.
Love that.
Currently, we have a Vinton County native in the top spot in the Wellston City School District, as Marianne Hale has. She's well into her interim superintendentship for Wellston. She was hired about 2 weeks prior to the departure of Karen Bach, who retired officially on October 29th from the Wellston City School District after about a decade or more in that position. Marianne was hired on just for the remainder of this school year, so she'll be on until June of 2022. The search for a permanent superintendent is about to kick off, I think, on December the 9th through the Ohio School Boards Association. I sat down and spoke with Mrs. Hale in recent weeks, and she wanted it to be known that despite the fact that she might not be there permanently, she's all in. She's got the experience. She's doing the best she can to establish some lines of communication with the administration, with the teaching staff, with the students. So it's nice to have that wealth of knowledge in that position in the transition period.
Yes.
And as to whether or not she will be considered for the permanent job, she's uncertain. No one has really given me any idea of whether or not that's a possibility. But she did point out that it would be dependent upon her husband, Eldred, who unfortunately about 2 years ago suffered a traumatic brain injury and requires around-the-clock care now.
Oh.
So her schedule is very dependent on his care and his needs right now.
Sure.
But she said she wouldn't rule out, if they would offer her that job. She said, anything can change. But as of right now, she's just here for that interim superintendentship, and then when the search actually kicks off, we'll get a better idea of who maybe some of the candidates will be. She did say that she hopes that it's someone who's going to stick around, live in the community, be vested in the community like a Karen Bach was.
Sure. She was here quite a while.
Yeah, and it's rare in Wellston situation to find a superintendent that actually lives in the community, that, is going to stick around. And she mentioned the fact that Wellston's football coach, Mike Smith, just recently resigned. And, she likened the importance of having a good football program and a good coach and someone with a little stickum that's going to stay around to a superintendent or a school administrator or a teacher even. You need to have that consistency and that time to build the trust and to build the programs and to garner the respect of all your peers and the people that you're working with on a day-to-day basis. So those are kind of, the same thing. But she's there. She's at the helm of the district, and I don't think they could ask for someone with any more experience or know-how in the meantime. So
Right.
It's good to know that she's there.
That would be a tough thing to just come in and have to take that job over, especially in the middle of a school year.
And they contacted her. So, they sought her out because in the past, Mary Ann was a teacher in Benton County from 82, on. And then she was a principal. She was an assistant superintendent. She's a board of education member. So she's got about as much experience as you could ask for someone to have with the education field. So we'll see what develops with that. Like I said, the search is about to kick off on the 9th with the OSBA and the school district working in unison. I would say the Education Service Center is probably going to be involved in that as well. So hopefully they'll find a good candidate that will stick around for a while.
Cool. Love that.
And some news from Total Media, our own JJ Hale, who is mostly affiliated with our 97.7 WCJO-FM, The Bull, has been sought out and named member of the Academy of Country Music.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah. So that's pretty neat. He was recently interviewed by Trevor Bailey. He wasn't really hard to track down because he's around here a lot. He said that he wasn't really expecting this at all. It was about last September when he received an email and it stated that he had been recommended for a membership, and then he actually got an official application to join. He kind of didn't really think anything of it because he didn't think he had the references in the music industry, but he was able to ask around and get a couple of those references, and then he felt a little more confident about him being accepted.
Love that.
When he was talking about his passion for country music, he said it's the fabric of who rural people are, and it's who he is as well. He said he grew up with the old Western and country music, and while his career took him to a more adult contemporary and rock music field, he has always felt his roots were in country music.
Sure.
So with this position, he's afforded the opportunity to vote for various country music categories for the annual ACM Awards, like Male and Female Artist of the Year. And he and his wife will both be invited to attend that annual award show.
That is awesome.
And so that's really cool. And we congratulate JJ for that.
So now we have a correspondent live from the thing. He can do a little thing, red carpet.
Very, very cool. So
that is awesome. And congratulations to JJ and well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. And before my time's up, I did want to mention something about the Board of Elections meeting that was held this Wednesday. I know I talked about this with the controversy surrounding their selection of the trainees for director and deputy director positions. So after all the protests that were filed from the Jackson County Democratic Party, the party chair, Lisa Parker, was present at the Board of Elections meeting on Wednesday, and as was prosecuting attorney for the county, Justin Lovett. And it was recommended by Mr. Lovett that the board rescind the votes that they made during a special meeting on November 9th.
Okay.
Because they failed, like I had said before, they failed to mention that they were going to take any action on anything other than the certification of the election
Because
results.
it was a special meeting.
Right. You have to specify the date, the time, the location, and the purpose of the meeting when it's a special meeting, and you cannot go outside of those parameters.
Sure.
And they did. So they officially rescinded those votes, and they set another meeting date for December 15th, at which time it's assumed at this point that they will make another vote for the trainee positions of director and deputy director of the Board of Elections. I have heard that they are sending this information up to the Secretary of State's office to see if they would maybe have to start the process all over again and post these positions again. That's just a possibility. I don't really think that's what's going to happen, but I just wanted to mention that might be a possibility. So,
Okay.
as it stands now, on the 15th, they will take another vote. This all stemmed back to when, like I said, those votes were taken at the November 19th special meeting, and there was only one Democratic board member present for that meeting, Rodney Smith, as Judy Brunton had just passed away just a few days prior to that meeting.
Right.
So the Democrats have selected Lila Elaine Speakman to assume that new position. She will, I've been told, will be in place by that December 15 meeting, so there will be equal representation for the Democrats and Republicans.
Okay.
And the person that was elected for the deputy director trainee position prior was Luke Scott. That was the second choice of the Democrats. They cried foul because they said that it's always been customary that the board follow along with the executive and central committees of a given party. And even though it's not required by law, they said that's something that's always just been done, and it's statewide. Mr. Scott has since rejected that offer, given the circumstances surrounding this and the negative connotations involved. He said he
I
would
don't
just
want any part of it.
Yeah, I'll stay where I am. So we'll see what happens during that December 15 meeting, and if there's any developments between here and there, I'll let you know.
Okay. Very good.
Almost knocked
Don't
your
you knock
tree
my
over.
tree over? Isn't it cute?
It is.
Wait, I gotta get the ribbon going in the right direction. Wait, now this ribbon's not in the right direction. We'll get her going eventually.
What are these called?
Should I say it, James? They're just little balls.
Whatever you say.
They're little berries. Where's Pete when you need him?
Oh, God. Yeah, I forgot about that.
All right. So I have a good question for you guys while you're here.
Okay.
All right. This is like throwing it out there.
All
So I
right.
saw this article the other day and I thought it was like a fun thing to ask. So what was... So they interviewed some people and they asked people, what was your favorite Christmas gift ever? Oh,
That's pretty easy for me. It was a Game Boy.
Game Boy?
Yeah.
And how many years ago was that?
I mean, it was a long time ago. I was little. So, like, my uncle got it for me, and he kind of tricked me because he gave me the game first. And he said, oh, and I was like, oh, I don't have a Game Boy. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. That was for your cousin. And he took it back from me.
No, he didn't. That's so
Yeah.
mean.
And then he gave me the other box. And the other box, of course, was the Game Boy.
That's pretty good.
Was that the uncle that was here the other day?
Yeah.
The robot uncle?
Yep.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Mine was probably when I got the Nintendo 64 when I was a kid. I was super pumped about that.
Yeah.
And then I got a telescope once, and I thought that was pretty cool too. Might have been the same Christmas, I don't know, but the Nintendo 64 is what sticks out in my mind.
Nintendo 64. So that was that after the regular Nintendo?
Yeah, there was
It was 64 years after the regular Nintendo.
there was regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, then I think Game Boy, and then I think the 64.
Okay.
That was 64 came out in response to the PlayStation, so I stayed Nintendo loyalist for a long time.
So this is like Apple versus Android.
Yeah, I eventually switched and got a PS2 eventually, but I was a Nintendo guy for a long time.
Yeah. And like what would make them be different? Like, because I don't know. Didn't have video games.
Well, it was called the Nintendo 64 because it was 64-bit, so the graphics were a whole lot better. I mean, the Super Nintendo was a 16-bit. The regular Nintendo was an 8-bit. So you went from 8 to 64, you know what I mean? Or from 16 to 64. And I'm not sure. I mean, I think the PlayStation was also 64-bit. I'm not really certain about that. But PlayStation used the CD, and Nintendo 64, I believe, was the last system that actually used the cartridge.
Yeah, like you bought individual
Yeah.
like games and
Yeah. Now, PlayStation's graphics were a little sharper. I mean, the 64 was kind of boxy looking, but it was leaps and bounds above what I was used to with the Super Nintendo. And yeah, I was very excited about that. I wish I still had it. I did have it until like a decade ago, and I left it in an apartment when I moved out. So whoever got that apartment probably got a lot of money in games. If they kept those, they would be worth a lot of money today.
Jeez.
They're pretty rare. Some of those were.
So I got an Atari.
2600, the wood grain.
No, just an Atari.
Okay.
The regular Atari.
Yeah, the regular Atari was
Is that the 2600?
Yeah. Then they had the 58 and the 70, whatever. I don't know.
What's 6472 or
Maybe.
no 5672? I don't
I
know.
don't know. And I remember, like, oh my
I've got
God.
them all in a closet at home.
Do you have them still? I wonder what happened to the Atari because my God.
I have
like
all
a million
those
games.
I have all those games, but it's on a RetroPie.
Yes.
It's got like 15,000 games. So it's got all the Nintendo, all the Atari.
So they came out with this Atari, what's it called? It looks like the actual vintage
like
Atari.
the mini one?
And you'd plug it in and it's just got the games stored in it.
Yeah. That's what this kind of thing is.
Yeah, and it's so cool. And they had one that had all of the games that I used to play on it. And I can't find it now. It was the Atari whatever. It was the 3rd edition of it.
What games do you remember? Because I probably have them.
My favorites were River Raid, Pitfall, Frogger.
Jungle. What was that one called? Jungle Hunt or something like that? Where you had to swing from the vines. And
That was
jump over the
Pitfall.
crocodiles.
That was Pitfall.
Okay.
What was the one called? It had the dragons and you had to, and it was like one of the basic ones.
Joust?
No, it was like you had to go and you had to gather things. These dragons would try to eat you. I mean, this was like basic, like came out like one of the original games.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Forget what it was called. I loved that one.
I think one of the coolest things about Atari games is that
Frogger.
Yeah, Frogger. Like the illustrations were all done by like fantasy novel book illustrators.
Yeah.
But then the games were just like 6 dots.
So funny.
I'm gonna have to get you set up with that RetroPie thing because it's got like 15,000 games on an SD card about this big.
No way.
The whole thing is like this big. And
I need it.
I've introduced my son to all these old games, and he prefers to play that than the Switch with his $750 worth of games he has for that.
Really?
Yeah.
How fun.
He's old school. He's cool as heck. I'm a little partial.
He is cool. I'm just going to say, if you didn't get to meet Parker the other day here on the program, you're missing out.
Oh, yeah.
He is a cool kid.
Coolest cat around.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know. I did get a Cabbage Patch Kid in the midst of the Cabbage Patch craze, so that was a fun gift, I remember. And one of my other favorite gifts, this is so bizarre. Well, I had several, but a Light Bright.
I remember Light Bright.
Those were so fun.
Magnadoodles. I remember those.
Magnadoodle, Spirograph.
Yep,
Did you have? My cousin had one of those, and I loved it when she would come to visit and bring it. I thought that was so cool. And I still feel like if you, like, kids got those games today, they would still love them.
I would think. I mean, I got Parker a Magnadoodle.
You made, like, pretty stuff out of those.
Yeah.
We found an original Light Bright at Goodwill, like, just a few years ago.
No.
Dude, those things were a straight-up fire hazard.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because you're putting paper over top of a big light bulb, if you think about it, and poking holes in it. What were we thinking?
I would think that those Easy Bake Ovens were kind of a fire hazard too.
Correct. I didn't have one. I don't think I had one of those. My same cousin, had one of those as well. So I think our parents must have like
collaborated.
Talked. Yeah. Like,
they can just share.
You get this. She gets the Barbie dream house. She gets all the Barbies. Like that way, when they get together, they all have.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I had a. So, of course, when I was growing up, I loved horses. I was obsessed with them. So I had all the Barbies, but I had the Barbie horse. And
the equine edition.
My God. I mean, that poor horse, I don't even... And that's how, but it's funny because that's how I learned to like braid and stuff. And then when I got a real horse, my poor real horse had to sit there. You stand there and I'm going to, braid your tail 52,000 different ways. And I need you to stand there and
Not
take
kicking.
it. So, but yeah, no, it's funny to think about. Well, Karina just walked in, so we'll ask her. What was your favorite Christmas gift ever?
Come on over.
Yeah. Okay, now you got to come over. Thanks, Phil. We appreciate it.
Switching out.
Yeah, we're switching out.
Oh, okay.
That was a good segue into switching out.
Just about fell.
It's that pole that's there.
That is awkward.
And you just got to kind of straddle it. It's a little weird.
That is a little weird. Oh, favorite Christmas gift ever?
Yeah.
Oh, a Barbie dream house. Hands down. And I still have it. My sister and I probably got it when I was 6 or 7 years old. And I'm 27. Thing is old. And we still have it. My mom still has it at her house. She has all of our Barbies from when we were little.
That's so cute.
And she even has, when she was little, her aunt, like, handmade outfits for her Barbies. And we have all of it. Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, my mom was really good at keeping our toys. And so we have a lot of stuff. But the pink Barbie dream house.
I remember that. So I don't know if you were in on the conversation where I was saying, I think my parents, so I had a cousin that was very close to me. She lived in Columbus at the time. So when we would get together, I think our parents collaborated because she'd have like XYZ and I'd have like this. And then when we got together, it was just like full on. Like she'd have the car and I had the horse and she had the dream house. Well, I think we both had dream houses, but like.
That's the best way to do it.
And so we were talking about how smart that was.
It's very
God, I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but it was brilliant.
Yeah. No, I will say though, on the Christmas present thing, last year, my mom knocked it out of the park. I love wine.
Yes.
I think we've talked about it. I love trying different types of wine, going to wineries, sampling everything. She bought me a subscription box of wine.
So
and
good.
had wines from bottles from all over, different kinds, different flavor, and it was the coolest thing ever. I was like,
and it just like
that's the
magically
best
arrives.
Adult Christmas gift I've ever been given.
There you go.
Yeah. It was really cool. I highly recommend that.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Jamie's mom did something similar, but with beers.
Yes.
So beers from all over. She did like an international one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it came beers from all over the world every month.
Nice.
I will say, disclaimer, if you send somebody a club membership like that, make sure that you send it to somewhere where like their place of work or something, because somebody has to sign for it.
Yeah.
Because you have to be 21.
It was a huge box.
They're not going to just leave it at your door.
No, they won't. No, that's what my mom gets the monthly, like my dad gets that for her. And I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. But you can just buy one box.
Oh, so you just got it all at one time. I got it,
yeah. I think I ended up with like 9 bottles in this box.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it was just like, I don't know what to ask for. And it was a total surprise. I was not expecting it. And it lasted forever, and it was so much fun to like look up where the bottle was from and like read the bottle and try all of it. And like they even send like pairing pieces that will go good with the wine. So
that's a good idea.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, love that gift idea. And so what did you drink after the first of the year then?
I've been on red wine just constantly since.
I was just kidding. I was like, you drank it all between Christmas.
Oh no, it was. I actually
Nobody
saw
got my
bottle.
joke.
That was bad. I'm sorry. It's still early for me.
Hey, we did have the Christmas party last night, so you just got to be.
It's early.
Understand that we all are a little slow today.
The iced coffee sitting on my desk has only made about a dent this much in it, so we're still getting there. So, but that is funny. It's Friday.
You missed Phil's great beer joke off the air when he said your craft beer was stout.
Yes, he
was
did.
That today?
Yeah, it was before we got on the show, and It was really punny.
It's Friday, everyone.
Just
let us
bear
go.
with us.
Let us go. So,
well, okay. So you are here to talk about something really, really, really fun and cool going on tomorrow
yes.
at the
Edge.
park. Thanks, I couldn't remember it.
Somewhere. It's going on somewhere.
It's that place that used to be the Ponderosa in the middle of town.
That place that you were for 3 hours.
The place we had our holiday
we
party
were at
last night. It's fine. Again, it's Friday. We're still getting it together, and that's acceptable.
Oh.
No, so yes, I'm here to talk about the holiday market that we are having tomorrow. Yep, there's the graphic for it. Super fun. So this is the first holiday market that we've had at Parks Edge. And it's a vendor fair, basically, that we started planning a few months ago.
Yes.
I think at this point we have 35 different vendors coming in.
That is awesome.
And it's going to be so much fun. It starts, doors open at 10 a.m., and it's going to run until 5 p.m. We have, like I said, 35 vendors. We will be selling beer, wine, cocktails, drinks. There are a few vendors that have some sweet treats that you can have. Santa, I've been told, may be making an appearance between the hours of 12 and 3.
Somewhere in there.
Our good friends at Rowdy's sponsored a Santa room, and we have a really cool setup. So if you want to bring your kids down and get a picture with Santa, we won't have a photographer, but you can take pictures on your cell phone.
Sure.
And so that's from 12 to 3, so he will be there. And it's going to be a really fun time. And I'm really excited for us to be able to showcase all of the talented people in our community. The vendors that have come out for this, I can't wait to see it. Some of them I have never heard of. We have people coming from West Virginia. We have people coming from Chillicothe. A lot of local people here, Jackson, Benton, Gallia. I'm really interested to see. They sent a description in on what their products look like or what they offer. And there are some really interesting ones. So it's going to be really fun.
No, and that is so cool. And, we have so many talented people right here in our area. And this is just a perfect opportunity for you to shop local and to be exposed and meet some of these folks because like you said, you didn't even know that some of these folks did the stuff that they do.
Right. No, it's going to be
so
great.
Cool.
Yeah, we have, I'm trying to think there, and even like you said, meeting these people. I know, so tomorrow.
Create that contact.
Yeah, we have Poppin' with Jenna. I don't know if you've ever seen. She is wonderful. She's out of Gallipolis. She does the big balloon arch.
It is.
It's amazing what she can do.
I'm just going to tell you, this girl is a freak of nature.
I don't know
with
how.
Balloons.
I've watched her come in and I'll walk out of the room and I'll come back and I just am standing in awe because I'm like, how did you do that quick?
Correct.
And she's so talented. So she's going to be there selling DIY kits for people to do them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And then I would get her business card because she is
so any
wonderful.
Party you need decorated for.
She's so talented.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays.
And the good thing about tomorrow, there will be something for everyone. We have John Daniels coming in, and he does a lot of really cool metal. I've seen some of the things he's bringing in. I'm really excited for him to set up. Taylor Folden with R&R Apparel, and she does everything, from infants to adult size, and she's got a little bit of everything. And we have some sweet treat people. The last one that came in is a glamp. You can go glamping. And I'm really excited to see how, I think her name is Whitney Boggs, does this. But it's a glamping either kit or a setup for kids that you can purchase for holiday parties or different things. So I'm really excited to see her setup. But yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yes.
Oh, that is a setup that Jenna did at Parks Edge.
The Poppin' with Jenna thing.
That is Poppin' with Jenna. That was at the Hatton Wedding at Parks Edge.
Look
and that was
that.
one of, I think, 3 or 4 that she did for that wedding.
Just unbelievable.
I know.
And I don't know what she does that's special, but those, typically you blow up a balloon, it lasts for a day, and it's gone. Hers lasts
weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't know if you've ever tried. Have you ever tried to make a balloon garland or arch?
not for more than 13 seconds.
So I bought one on Amazon.
Because they just take off on you.
Well, we bought one on Amazon for when John retired. We wanted the backdrop. And I was like, I'm going to do this. I've watched Jenna do it. She's so talented. Okay. I've got this. I had blisters on my fingers, and I'll never do it again. Yep. I will hire Jenna in a heartbeat. Mine did not look that great, but it's hard.
It's very hard.
It's very tricky. So she does a wonderful job. So
yes, absolutely. And so that's just one of the vendors that you'll get to see tomorrow. And you said over 35?
We have around 35 vendors coming in. And so that the vendor, it'll run from, like I said, 10 to 5. And then everything in the park kicks off at 7 with the parade.
Right.
Fireworks at 8. And then we have Colby Likens playing in Stockroom tomorrow. Okay. So it's going to be a really fun day down in the park. Yeah. Everyone, the tree lighting's tomorrow. We are going to open Stockroom so people who are visiting the vendor fair can pop in and eat lunch over there.
Or get you a drink and then walk around.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll have drinks, but there's draft beer over in Stockroom. Grab a beer and just come hang out.
Yeah, and so ladies, you can bring your husbands and just send them over there. They can watch whatever games are on, all of that stuff.
See, that's what you come in. The kids can get a picture. Send the kids with your husband into Stockroom to eat lunch, and then you shop.
That's right.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yes, so. It's kind of something for everyone. No, it's a good thing, and I'm hoping that people come and appreciate it because you're bringing the shopping to the folks all in one spot instead of you having to go all over God's creation and seek these people out.
Yeah, it's going to be great. That's what's fun. It's everyone is local. It's a local opportunity, and Christmas is what? We're 3
weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks away. Are you done with your Christmas shopping? Have you started?
No.
Okay. I braved Black Friday and went shopping.
You are nuts, girl.
No, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
I was terrified, but I was talked into it, and I did it. But now I have a list, and we're 3 weeks, and I'm panicking. So I'm going to knock that list out tomorrow at this vendor fair.
Yeah, no, I refused the Black Friday thing after one of my servers came back with a one less earring. Because literally someone ripped an earring out of her ear.
Like a black eye.
No, well, I mean,
did too. I was like, "Oh, sir,
kind of." I mean, she got there. Literally, someone ripped the earring out of her ear over something. Yeah, and I was like,
gosh,
nope. But no, yeah, I don't have to do much shopping, so I'm kind of fortunate.
Oh, you didn't. You're not getting me a Christmas present? That's awkward.
I would have if you'd have gotten my joke earlier.
I told
I'll tell you what.
James, I'll get you a Christmas present.
Thank you. I will get you a Christmas present.
That was convincing. Anyways.
I'll get you some French fries at the restaurant.
Deal. Freaking deal. You know I love those French fries. Okay. That's fine. No, so, yeah.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. And, as we said, every municipality has a lot going on tomorrow. But the great thing is they're staggered. So you can get to Wellston, start off at 10 a.m. They've got, their parade at 1. They've got all of that stuff going on in the afternoon. Lots and lots of downtown businesses open there in Wellston as well. And then Jackson's festivities more in the evening. Oak Hill's kind of in between. So lots and lots of different things going on.
I'll tell you guys where I'm going to start the day tomorrow.
Oh.
Christmas with the Grinch at the Liberty Theater in Oak Hill. All you can eat pancakes and sausage.
That is my favorite Christmas movie.
The Grinch.
And I'm not going
to do it. The Jim Carrey one?
Absolutely. And I can quote I'm annoying watching it because I can just quote it out. And then people are like, please stop. Please stop telling us what's coming next.
We know.
And I love it that much.
That little girl. Who was I talking to last night? I was trying to do I think it was Amanda and Courtney, and I was just failing miserably at trying to.
You're trying to do
do the Who's. But that little girl that plays Cindy Lou Who is literally one of the cutest characters ever in the history of movies.
We have a Grinch theme tree at Park's Edge in the room where Santa might be visiting tomorrow. What? But it's the cutest thing ever. Yeah. That somebody had it made at the Festival of Trees.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, and it was purchased and brought to Park's Edge, and it is beautiful. So
good.
Yeah. So the Grinch may pop up tomorrow. Who knows?
You never know. And you never know what Grinch you're going to get, because you can get the good Grinch, the bad Grinch. Depends on what size his heart is. Yes.
Have you guys seen what the girl that played Cindy Lou Who in the Jim Carrey Grinch movie looks like now?
No.
She's in like a heavy metal band.
She's a rocker now.
And she's
can you pull her up?
I don't know what her name is. I'll see if I can find it.
What?
Yeah, she's like a punk rocker. Yeah.
That's fitting. I feel like that.
Isn't it?
That would happen.
She literally was the cutest character.
I love it.
Ever.
Love it.
And I think, Jim Carrey's just a great Grinch because he's just insane anyways. Mm-hmm. But that little girl made that movie for sure. And you think about, though, how many people were in that movie that you see, like, and you're like, how do I know that person? Oh, they were a Who.
Yeah. I sit and look and think, how long did they sit in, like, hair and makeup to do that?
Even imagine?
Like, I love the movie, so I will, like, deep dive into videos. I'm kind of a loser. But I've watched the interviews with Jim Carrey, talking about how horrible it was sitting in makeup every single day to get that done, and the amount of hours it would take. And that at one point he was like, I'm done doing this. Like, we can't do this every day. And the hours of filming then with all of that on your face. Oh. But thank you, Jim Carrey, because it's my favorite movie.
I know. Yep, there she is.
What?
Yes, that's Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah, so that's Tyler Michael Momsen is her name.
Yep. Isn't she? She's still gorgeous.
Very pretty.
It's just not exactly. Are you disappointed? Or I think it's kind of fun.
I think it's fun. I just think it's funny that, like, in my head, I'll always just keep her Cindy Lou Who.
She'll never not be Cindy Lou Who. Yeah.
Just cute. So
it's kind of like Macaulay Culkin not being cute anymore, like the cute little kid anymore.
No, I also like that movie. So all of those are great.
So I forgot to tell you too. So I was telling James about Kieran Culkin, and he's like, I didn't know Macaulay Culkin had a little brother, but he was in Home Alone. He's there. He's actually the little brother in Home Alone as Kieran too. But now he's in Succession, which is fantastic.
I don't think I know who that is.
Kieran Culkin. It's Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
That's a little brother.
Yeah.
We're
for the love of God, would you pull him up too so we can see?
We're learning so much today.
Yeah, so he's Home Alone. He's the little nerdy kid with the glasses. He's his little brother in Home Alone. But now he's in this show called Succession, which is on, I believe it's Showtime, which is fantastic. It's about this family, and they own a ginormous like cable company, but they all fight amongst themselves, and like they're all vying for queen bee status within the company, and they've got like the dad up here, and they're all it's crazy. But now he is in that movie, or in that show, but everything he says is super snarky and just
I want to say, okay, in my head I have the picture,
condescending,
like of what he looked like in that movie, like in the actual movie. So
yes, he just hosted Saturday Night Live like 2 weeks ago too, or 3 weeks ago. So
I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, I don't unless I tape it.
Yeah, I don't have cable, and I just Netflix when I'm at home.
Girl,
if I can.
I mean, The Grinch is on Netflix, I'm sure.
Know.
So
it's back streaming on there. I know. Don't worry, I have the DVD.
There he is. So there's Macaulay Culkin that's Macaulay Culkin on the right. That's his brother Kieran on the left.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, he was the little nerdy kid.
You can tell they're siblings.
I mean, they look, they look a lot alike.
100%.
Yep.
Awesome. Wow,
So,
that's really cool.
Yeah, but check out Succession. It's a hoot. That's a whole other thing. All right, so holiday market tomorrow at Park's Edge.
Yep.
Starts at
10 a.m. Free admission for everyone.
Yes.
And so you can come, Santa 12 to 3. Shop around, drinks, food. Just
Love it.
have fun. Bring out your friends, your family.
Yep.
It's a big day.
Will Karina be there?
I will be there. Well, I will be there. I won't be there right. I'm hoping to be there right when it opens. I am going to a concert out of town tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what concert?
So I was gifted an early birthday present
Okay.
to go see Morgan Wallen tonight in Lexington.
Nice.
So I'm very excited. So I am taking a half day of work.
Cool.
So.
Well, that will be fun.
Yes.
And then.
So when I get back in the morning, I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Because Lexington's kind of far away.
It's like
3 hours.
plus hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, you have a good time, girlfriend. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Well, is there anything else we need to tell everyone about? Other than get out and about.
Yeah, get out. Have a early Merry Christmas this weekend.
Yeah, like enjoy, like kick off the Christmas season with, we've got the Rockefeller tree lit. Now we're doing our local stuff.
I can't wait to see the trees lit up. I saw everybody decorating them
I
last
know.
night, and I wanted to walk, but
So
I
excited.
said I'm going to wait until I go tomorrow to see them all.
I know. Super
So, it'll be
excited
awesome.
about that. So it's going to be fun. Get to all the different municipalities. If anything else, just, get your hot cocoa and drive around, look at the lights and enjoy. Put your little Christmas music on. It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. It's
So
going to be a good weekend.
yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here for the day. Hi, Courtney.
And don't forget to turn in your Santa letters
Oh, okay. When is that?
now.
Oh,
Box out front.
okay.
Oh, yes. Letters to Santa. Yes.
You probably know more than I do.
So there's been a sheet, or it's in the
It was in the telegram.
Telegram. Gosh,
You get
it's
one
truly
here.
Friday. You can pick up. I told you I haven't had my coffee yet. So the letters to Santa. We have sheets here that kids can write a letter and drop it off in the mailbox in the front of the office.
Yes.
Or it was in the Telegram where they could write it and still come put it in the office. And then I've been told Santa's going to get the letters and read them potentially and make a surprise visit, but it's a great chance to tell Santa what you want for Christmas. So get your letter in.
Just saying, they need to get in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right.
James, that's you too.
Yeah, so Santa will be here next Tuesday.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
That's what I've heard.
What?
And every Tuesday for the following 2 weeks.
I love that he's penciled us in.
I know.
How did we do that?
VIP status.
No, he had so much fun here last year
Yeah.
that he was certainly eager to agree to come back.
Despite
Yes.
the naughtiness throughout the year, he is willing to donate his time.
I think just as everybody else, Santa's excited to see the new.
Yeah, he just wants to see the
Building.
new.
He's
the
just
new,
being nosy.
Total Media offices.
He just wants to see everything.
He's so excited.
Yes. Well, Buddy the Elf is hanging out in the window.
He
right now.
is. You can come by. You can see Matt McKee and Buddy the Elf in the window.
What a duo. What a duo.
Very fitting.
What's Buddy the Elf, Matt McKee, Bernie Sanders, and
And
Mike DeWine.
Mike DeWine. I mean,
We have no fun here at Total
No.
Media. Like none.
great combination.
All work. No fun.
All right.
So
The word of the day is just get out. Get out tomorrow. I guess that's 2 words, but
I
3
wasn't going to
words.
say it.
The theme. How's
theme.
that? The theme of the weekend is just get out and about and enjoy our local stuff. Shut up, James.
I'm just thinking of the horror movie Get Out.
Oh God, that was horrible. That was so bad.
You just ruined that one for that. Okay.
I can't undo that.
Be festive.
Yes.
Theme. Be festive.
Yes.
James.
Go out. Get out.
Get out.
Yeah, James,
Get out and be festive,
everyone. All right. No, have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy your concert. Be
Oh,
safe
thank you.
driving.
Yes.
Yes. And we expect that we will see you all tomorrow at one of our fun local events. So have a great weekend, and we will be back here on Monday to kick off your work week.
Yeah.
So have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.